Okay, it's Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. It's 4 PM. We're going to start the Town of Sangerville Select Board meeting. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 2, approval of the minutes, Select Board meeting 2/7/2024.
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Favor, 3. Review of treasurer's warrants, payroll, 10 and 11, accounts payable, 12.
Make a motion to approve any of these read.
Second.
Favor? There's no one here for open session. Old business, the Gould property.
So the highest bid backed out and doesn't want it. So Sam did some work, found state statute that says that it can go to the next highest bidder. So if we all agree, we'd give Jamie Kluge the nod because she was the next highest bid, and then she can pay this week and we can dissolve the public works, sewer and water bill, and that would be taken care of. So then the remediation of pests would be taken care of, and it would revert to them. It would become theirs. And then any money owed above and beyond after we've paid for any of the town's bills out of it would go to the owner, depending on what the Orkin bill was and what any of that stuff, advertisements and stuff like that. So.
And I do have an email from the highest bidder stating he does not want the property.
Yeah.
So I do have that in place too.
Okay.
And that was one thing that I had made, if they don't want it and they're declining it, I needed in some sort of record or digital traffic that says they don't want it, so.
I'm wondering if going forward, we want to require a deposit.
Yeah.
If the bid's small enough, the whole thing up front,
Right.
with the understanding that we'll return your check if you don't win.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's a large one, 10% or something.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just to prevent collusion or whatever.
Yeah, or just throwing in a bid and then saying, oh, I've got buyer's remorse
Yeah,
or
change my
whatever.
mind
it may
or
be.
whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
I think, yeah,
Non-refundable.
that's a lesson learned on this
Yeah.
one I did, you know, that it should have been.
We've never done it. We've never,
We've never had one, I mean, they've always taken it.
yeah, so. I read the article the same way Sam did.
Right.
It seemed pretty clear that we are allowed to do this.
Right, goes right to the second bidder.
Yeah, okay, so
Yep.
we'll,
Well, I don't know how couldn't it, because the guy doesn't want it, so it doesn't matter that we
Well,
granted him.
my initial concern was with the Supreme Court ruling that we might have some obligation to maximize the return for the homeowner, but it doesn't appear that even if that's
Sure,
the
but what
case.
I'm saying though is if he wouldn't have put the bid in, it would go to the next person anyway.
No, but I saw his email. He was beyond just, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind and I want this
and-
person to
Sure.
have
Right,
it. That's,
yeah.
that was,
That's, that,
so anyway, but it looks like we're okay. So I make a motion that we accept the next bid.
second.
All in favor?
yeah, we'll get that done, taken care of by Friday. The town office, I have the new lease for the next year. It was increased by $39, so it's $1,339. That's just for the one floor, not the second floor. And I can go through with this tomorrow if you wanna approve the office
Can you
space.
say why? What was the reason? I mean, heating oil this year is lower than usual.
He said the inflation in utilities cost.
The utilities just went down.
And we've all burned less oil this year than we've ever burned.
Yeah, and the cost of oil is significantly less than
Yeah.
it was a year ago.
Yeah.
I guess taxes did go up.
Is that heated with oil or electricity? Is it heat pumps?
Oil.
Oil.
Well,
But both went down. Anyway,
yeah.
Right.
we're pretty much a captive audience.
Right.
Okay,
So-
so I'll meet him tomorrow morning and we'll take care of that, and
Yep.
that'll be one more thing off the
To-do list.
to-do list and
Can
table.
we back up to the tax acquired property just for
Sure.
a minute?
Yep.
How do you want to do the quitclaim deed? Do you want to have that sent over to the lawyer and have him do the quitclaim deed on that? Or how would you like that handled?
What's the other alternative?
I could pull the deed from Gould and kind of copy it into a form. And I did actually find the forms in the office.
The legal expense would be deducted, I'm assuming,
Right.
so why not
Yeah,
dot
do
our
it.
i's?
Okay.
Because I think, are we actually, are we already surpassing what we're gonna get?
No.
Okay.
Not at this stage, no,
Okay.
because the original bid was 2,600, and if she does 42, the rats at this point are 800, and the water sewer, I'm not exactly sure what that price was, but, I mean, you're gonna be close. You're not gonna make a lot of profit, but you're gonna be close.
We actually don't, we're not allowed any profit.
Right, we have to give
So-
it
We
back
have
to
to give it to
the
him.
original.
Whatever dollars left would
Landowner.
be set
Go-
out.
Go to him.
I just
Yep.
don't, not going negative.
Right, yeah.
I
right.
don't think so at this point. Without all the bills in, I can't tell you that for sure.
So we'll go with the attorney.
Okay.
And
Go ahead,
when we say attorney, what attorney are we talking about?
The town attorney.
Oh, okay,
Kristen?
Chris,
Right.
okay,
Yep.
yep.
New business. Michelle's been trying to find the property maintenance ordinance, and it was approved, she's found it in the annual town meeting, but we didn't have one signed, so, to request to see if we can get that. Cause we haven't been able to find property maintenance ordinance.
I cannot find any of your originally signed ordinances.
Now,
I can find
Oh, there's
photocopies all over the place.
Oh, okay.
But I can't find original signed documents. Well, the lawyer needs to have me certify an original copy for him. And I can't certify a copy of a copy. I need the original.
And the one online isn't signed?
yeah, the one
It
that's
is signed,
in,
but it's a copy.
Right, no, I understand, we did sign one, we know that.
Sure.
We didn't have that.
But where is Waldo?
right. I wonder if it's in this building.
So do
We've
we
been
want-
over there.
Oh, and,
I couldn't find a book of ordinances in there. And Sam looked at the ordinance book in the office, and those are copies.
so when you just said lawyer and referred to him as him, what lawyer is that we're talking about?
I just assumed it was a man.
Oh, no, it's a woman.
Your lawyer.
Our lawyer is a woman.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanna make sure we're all talking about the same person. Okay, that's a woman.
If you wanted, sign this one, or do you want us to hold off for another week?
My only concern would be, did the attorney suggest that we sign this one? Because we can't redate it.
Right.
So
That,
we don't want to undermine whatever case that we're working on. And now, we may be in a box. But if the attorney directs us to sign this with a new date, then that's what we should do, I think. But
Okay, and I didn't
until
ask
then,
that.
yeah.
well, let's hold off on that, and then let's get clarity from them,
Right.
To me, it almost, you need to have a secondary line. This is the copy with the original signatures, and this is the select board's date and signature when they're attesting.
Even, maybe
to
even
those
an affidavit to that copy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
really.
Is important, so we need to know what they need.
Yeah.
But I know you can't mess with dates and signatures.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's why-
re-sign things. and-
Well,
yeah,
even
yeah,
as a
yeah.
notary, you learn that one pretty quick.
Well, and I almost wondered if that's almost what we need, is like a notarized
An affidavit, yep, saying that the representation that's on the website is accurate and true to the best of our knowledge, or whatever they want.
Sure. Just-
Okay.
And then that would cover you for any and all. We could use that standard
Oh, true, good point.
anytime we needed it.
It's worth doing just a little bit more research to make sure
Yeah,
we're not violating any ordinance or anything.
Yeah, and we may find it if we dig a little deeper, but we may have other documents that we have this similar situation with too, so we might as well find out how to deal with
Oh,
it.
yeah, there's no doubt.
Well, this moving around thing is
Yeah.
not easy. Animal control officer under item 7,
You talked to Gary, right?
Yeah, I've talked to Gary. He called us to let us know that he had suffered a medical situation and can no longer be an animal control officer, per his doctor. But then he didn't want to give us up. And so he's like, well, can we just double check with my doctor? So on Tuesday, he called back and said, I can't, the doctor won't let me do it. So we did have Joe Guyot come by. And he said that, if we wanted him, it would be $100 a month, and then whatever hourly rate plus mileage. And I said, I will let the board know. We could also put out an ad. I honestly don't know who is even doing animal control anymore.
talked about this the other meeting, it was,
Well, that's why I put it
I
back
still can't
on.
remember.
Yeah, Chris something.
Chris.
Yeah, but I can't, the reason I put it on here.
Oh,
Who?
begins with R.
Oh,
Reardon?
Lord, you read,
Reardon?
what, Lois's,
Yeah, no, I know,
Yes.
Reardon?
I think it's Reardon, yeah.
Chris? Reardon.
It may not be, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was Chris.
Yeah, it's
And I
definitely
remember
Chris.
the Lois,
Yeah.
so we're on the right track, but.
Well, we held off because Gary had asked to, and out
Yeah.
of longevity and. we thought,
Sure,
um,
sure.
But now we're at the point where we're gonna have to put an ad out,
Yeah, well, we could put it on MMA.
yeah.
The compensation that he was requesting, how does that compare to what we have been?
Gary only gets like, I think it was minimum wage, $13.80 an hour and mileage.
And no monthly stipend.
Right.
Yeah, that seems a little steep.
Somebody else told me they just lost their animal control person.
Probably Gary Sutherland.
No,
Yeah.
it might have been in Dexter. Well, Gary may be doing Dexter, maybe that was
Yeah,
it, yeah.
Yeah, I
He
bet.
does multiple towns.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I can text Lois and ask her. But,
Yeah, we
He
also.
was our backup, remember, there was
Yes.
something else going on, and we had him for
Yeah,
a while when Gary.
we
had
also have
something.
his resume because he applied for the town manager's job.
Well, that'll be in
So you've got a copy
oh,
of that.
yeah,
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 in Dover Foxborough Felix.
yeah, okay,
yeah, it was over on the Grange Street there.
Yep, they still live there, I think.
yeah.
So yeah, you'll have his info.
Okay, we'll
I don't
go.
know if he still does that or would have any interest, at least to start. with.
But at the same,
Right.
yeah, we'll run that down and then we can put an ad on MMA. But in the meantime, we need somebody.
We do.
Does it
I mean,
take,
by statute, we have to have somebody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does it,
Actually, Seth's, isn't Seth's wife one?
Elderton?
Yep.
She is? Want me to text him?
Yeah,
I believe she is for Parkman.
Possible.
Well, that's two names that we can start
Recognize
with, and then, if that's a dead end, we'll have to post in MMA and.
Wife and animal control officer. Okay.
all right, yeah, we'll noodle that.
The next one is for the town hall committee, the petition for, article for the annual town meeting. They had come in to the office and asked for some review and stuff, and then I asked MMA, well, Michelle and I asked through multiple lines of communication with MMA, what are our left and right limits with this? And there's no help by us, by the municipality or anything, they have the petition, they get the signatures, and then it's bound to be put on. But as far as municipality goes, we have no ties, nothing bound to it, and we can't assist with anything.
We knew
That's my
that.
thought.
I wanted it to just be clear, and it's on there, and everybody knows that office isn't avoiding, it's just by legal means, we're
That's
not
how the
allowed.
process works.
Right,
So the only question you asked MMA was, are we obligated to have an involvement?
right,
And they said no.
yeah, well, we sent them the article and said, this is for review, and then they said, who is this from, and I told them, step by step.
It was an outside entity.
It's an outside entity, and then that's when they said that.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to cross the Ts and
Yeah.
dot the Is.
Yeah, any inquiry like that, we've had experience with that.
Yeah, they,
We would have known that,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, but still, that answers the question for the.
Absolutely, for
For the
them.
group. Yep.
And I got it in MMA format, so that if they want,
They actually don't even get that either. I mean, it's,
right,
Yeah.
it goes on and on. We had
Sure,
recreational marijuana. We didn't vet that with MMA, that's not
Sure.
towns.
and then the foodies,
We did have the foodies,
yeah,
with all due respect.
yeah, no, the food ordinance,
The food
yeah,
ordinance,
Yeah.
sovereignty ordinance.
yeah.
So anyway,
Through and-
Yeah, we've been through this rodeo once before.
and then before we go, well, let me just do roads, I have one road left to do, McFeeters is I gotta post. So that's the last.
yeah, it's gonna really warm up this weekend, I
Yeah,
guess.
so tomorrow morning it'll be done.
50 and 4 next week.
Yeah, yeah. So everything else has been taken care of. I did it the day that we had all talked and just, you know, and I'm glad I did because it is,
Well, the worst part is right now is we're in that time of year, even if it's only 30.
yeah.
30, them roads are melting, it's coming
Yeah,
right
they-
up through,
well,
and it's already happening.
Yeah, so, and then Michelle, I think, has got some budget stuff. She's been trying to balance Trio with the bank account, and there seems to be a delta between one and the other. And so we've been, and this has gone on since she started working here. That, you know, she's been carrying this bundle of information to try to find out where this gap in cash or funds has become. Some of it goes all the way back to, it had never been reconciled, going back to 2018. So nothing had been reconciled back to that point. So now Michelle's trying to play catch up with 2018.
So how do we get through all of our audits every year?
I have no idea.
And they're aware of it.
I like that.
So,
Good
well,
question.
speaking of the audit, you know, another to-do thing, is I'm in the middle of it, so I'm reviewing all the you know, just the administrative information and sending that in to them, and I'll be done tomorrow, but they're working with Michelle on the other end, and they're aware that there is somewhere along the lines,
Yep,
there's
somewhere I
been,
have an email.
there's not, it's not lining up.
And is it the same water there since 2018 when we,
Yeah.
so
So the discrepancy has existed since 2018?
I haven't got any records to go back past this year.
Oh, okay.
So what I ended up doing is I finally called, came to National, I'm like, can I bring this stuff down to you and you look at it, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, maybe the credit cards are throwing me off, maybe, you know. So we went down there for 2 hours and she ran my figures and her figures and she can't come up with it either. She doesn't know why we're off, but we can't balance 2 Trio. So ultimately, you should be able to have your Trio total that the bank says, or the Trio program says, and then you have the bank statement. And you add and subtract outstanding deposits, checks, whatever, you know how that works, and credit cards, and we get a daily thing from the credit card people that say this is what's come through. I can match all the stuff for the month, and it should come out, but it does not come out to Trio. So, to give you a little example, just so that you can see, it's a little easier to see. This is Lorna's spreadsheet. Sam used this side, and Sam came to me with a difference of 15,000. So then I ran my figures and came up with 19,000. And if you looked at the Trio total, this is what Trio says we're supposed to have. And this one is what the bank says we're supposed to have, 812,000, and I can't read that because my glasses are on my head.
811.
11. So we range anywhere from $215 off to $39,000 off. And right now, I can't find August bank statement. I've hunted that office upside down, I can't find August.
But can you
But
get
the
it
bank
from
has
the
it.
bank?
I can get another one from the bank.
Yeah, you should be able to reprint.
Right.
But what this is saying is, the bank has more money than we can account for through Trio.
At times. Sometimes it doesn't come out that way. This 1 month here did come out that way.
So we need a Trio expert.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
I mean, something is, there's
something
an
in
algorithm in it that's flipping a number around.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, because it should be static, right? I mean, if the mistake
It
was
was
the same
30
every
grand,
month.
30
Right.
Well,
Right.
when you go into Trio and you do the receipt and all that, and you put that information out, and then you take the money from that you collected and you go to the bank,
Right,
it seems though it should match.
right.
Right, but what Mike's saying is,
Right.
whatever that error is,
It should be the same
it should
from
be
month
the
to month
error
to month to month.
last month. the
Yeah,
month
so
before.
why is it fluctuating?
And
Exactly.
if there's a lagging reporting that's repeating every month, but even that, there should be a cadence to it. You should be able to see it repeating. And maybe this relief is not well placed, but I'm relieved to learn that the bank is saying we have more money than what we can account for, not
Right.
the other way around.
And the auditing office, I let them know, this is what we've done. They are willing to have me send down the bank statement, and they will help us try to figure out where. So right now, I'm going back to January
Of
and
23.
23, and I'm working forward again.
Who do we pay Trio for?
Who do we, what do you mean?
Like our subscription.
We buy Trio, right? It's a service that we pay
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Who do we pay for that?
Harris Computer Solutions.
Have we talked to Harris about this anomaly?
I have not.
That's, to me, is a,
Yeah, that wouldn't be a
Place to
bad
go.
idea.
Call the Hamlin, I mean Harris.
Harris is
See
getting
if they
checks
can
from us
come
and
in.
has for years. If we've got a programming issue or something like that,
Well, now that you say programming, I do know that they're coming out with a new version that they're coming out with this year, so if any,
it'd be nice to get this.
So is it
squared away.
like your iPhone, every time there's a new version, your version don't work so well anymore?
Right, well.
Not true, is it, Joe?
it might
Mine
be-
works.
You know, some systems, when they go towards legacy doesn't, you know, they don't migrate over like they should.
And we have, I mean, we have had some upgrades done in our system over the years, so who knows, there could be something in there, in our,
Absolutely.
that's not working and nobody else has dug deep enough to find this before.
Well,
It could be multiple things.
Yep.
And the most important thing is you three know that there is a discrepancy. You know, it might be we have positive numbers, but still you need to know that there's a discrepancy because, you know, someday you don't need to be, nobody
The
told
moving
us.
part of it is really odd, that's kind of fascinating.
I actually feel better.
If I could find like $500.
No,
I agree with you.
$500
Yeah, it's like, it's clearly a bug.
January, and February, and March, and April.
Right,
Yep.
That'd be fine, because I'd say there's $500 that we're,
Sure.
missing
Off.
every,
Yep.
but it's
it's
like
just
this.
all over the
Right.
place.
The
Weird.
whole thing.
That's,
They have to have accounted this before at our
You
vendor,
would think.
yeah.
The only problem with Harris, unfortunately, is their return for the phone calls, and not always can you understand the person on the other end of the phone. So, and I don't know if them coming out to the system, what that's gonna cost. I can check into that to see if they could actually come out to us and see what they can do.
They might even be able to tap in remotely.
I think
Oh,
when,
sure.
I think when the new version comes out, they're obligated in that contract to send somebody out at cost to do the training.
have we always updated from version to version? We have.
Well, I can remember a couple of these conversations that we've gone to the new one and added more features that we didn't have before.
Right,
And then we've always talked about the potential of
Yeah.
having full Trio,
Yeah.
so we could have our tax cards and stuff back in-house.
yep,
And you use Trio in Guilford, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so you're,
and I had to balance through Trio system, they have a special reconciliation built into budgetary. So that's what, one thing surprised me, is that it wasn't done through your system.
Well, if there's a new edition coming, then probably we wouldn't tweak this unless they have a suggestion that,
Right, right,
but
yeah,
hope, when you talk to them, you'll probably have an idea.
yeah,
hopefully.
right.
So I'll do that, I'll get a call out tomorrow morning and then we'll just keep
Yeah, I
working
wouldn't
forward.
hesitate. I don't see how the bank's gonna help you with that.
No, I just thought, you know, I've never worked with credit cards before, so I thought maybe I'm missing something that's tied up into that somehow.
Right, right.
Um,
And now that you had all accounted for properly. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I have more colors on these pieces of paper than you can even imagine.
Cause that's kinda how I look at it, you know, we don't know what it would cost to have them come in here, but you're already pretty vested into this. So, if it would just free you up for doing something else. You know what I mean?
Yep. So, but this is major, especially with your audit going on right now, so this is a big ticket item for me, to make sure this is right.
Yeah, I would pull on them sooner than later, get them in and see if they can help you. Because you could search forever, and if it's something behind the scenes in that system, you're not gonna find it.
Exactly, just like you showed me with the real estate.
Mhm.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and where it's a moving number. That's why I said I feel better that it's a moving number.
Yeah,
I
no, it
really
definitely
think
looks
that's-
like a
it's
bug.
something system related,
Yeah.
not.
Could be, yep.
I also feel better that it's.
The
it's-
bank is higher.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't look like money is missing. It doesn't look that way.
Right.
We'll see.
It's just that they're not balancing with each
Yeah.
other.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then to piggyback off of that, cause we had the budget committee, we were kind of wanting it to be next Monday. Leslie can't, he's sitting on for the bar. So we're gonna do 18 March at 6 o'clock. And then we'll have the 3 on the board, on the committee.
Okay.
Just to circle back to Seth Elderkin, his, nope, she did it for a while, way too much drama.
Okay. Can't imagine it.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Note to self, do not be animal control officer.
Yeah.
So that's Seth. And,
I wonder who Parkman has.
I don't know.
Yeah, that could be it too, just reach out to the other towns and see.
Yeah.
Town reports, the municipal directory maybe has some names.
We, obviously, we're not gonna go very long before we don't take this gentleman up on maybe a
Right.
monthly arrangement or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, okay. Anything else?
Okay. Nope.
So I'll make some phone calls tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Motion to adjourn,
Second.
4:28. We are adjourned.